As the Israel-Hamas war rapidly turns into a humanitarian crisis, voices across the globe continue to call for an immediate ceasefire in the region. Pressure mounts on governments to push for a pause on hostilities, as civilians on both sides of the border continue to pay the price of the conflict. More than 300,000 pro-Palestinian protesters marched through central London, calling for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. It marked the largest rally calling for a ceasefire to date. Protesters set off green and red flares, waved Palestinian flags, and demanded occupation no more. A group of Jewish pro-Palestine protesters also held placards reading, "Not in our name." UK ministers had called for the cancellation of the march earlier. Meanwhile, the pro-Palestine march also drew counter-protesters from right-wing groups on Armistice Day. Armistice Day marks the anniversary of the end of World War I. British police arrested at least 82 people in central London to prevent a breach of the peace. Pro-Palestine protesters stormed the Franca station in Barcelona. Riot police closed the gates to the city's major station, while protesters pushed back and tried to enter. Police officers also used shields and batons against the protesters.
Sal, que no. Voy, estáis saliendo.
Pro-Palestine protesters marched in the Irish capital of Dublin, demanding a ceasefire. The protest comes ahead of an Irish government vote next week on expelling the Israeli ambassador to Ireland. Protesters held banners that called for the ambassador's expulsion.
You can't hide your support in genocide! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Gaza, don't you cry! Palestine will never die! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Protests are also taking place in Tel Aviv, demanding ceasefire. Demonstrators called for a solution between both sides to prevent further bloodshed.
We are calling to end the deadliest war against Gaza. We condemn the killing of civilians, especially children, no matter if they're Israeli, if they're Palestinians. We want everyone that live inside the border and outside of it, whether it's within Israel, the Gaza Strip, or the West Bank, to live in peace and equality.
Thousands rallied in Tel Aviv for the release of hostages held by Hamas. Protesters gathered outside of Israel's defense ministry with the pictures of the hostages. In the US, hundreds of demonstrators waved Palestinian flags and chanted "Ceasefire now" near the Delaware home of President Joe Biden. Biden arrived in his home state after participating in events marking Veterans Day. Biden's motorcade did not pass by the large demonstration, which was staged on the side of a major road near the president's home. More than 1,000 Argentinians gathered in Buenos Aires to show support for Palestine. The protest had the support of members, human rights group, indigenous, civil and LGBTQ organizations. Tens of thousands of people marched through Brussels too for a ceasefire. The peaceful demonstration included families and children. Demonstrators accused the EU of being a bystander and not doing enough to seek peace. Police estimated the crowds at 21,000. Thousands of people are expected to march against anti-Semitism. More than 3,000 police personnel will be deployed in the French capital to maintain security. President Emmanuel Macron said that he would not join the rally, but would attend the march in his thoughts.